I had to check on my phone where I ranked The Office Season 4. And I ranked it third. So, apparently I love this season. So, The Office Season 4 is top 3 episode, or top 3 season of the whole show. Hey everyone, welcome back to Just Jake Reviews. I review albums, movies, and sports games. And today, we are back, yes, with another segment of this series where I'm going to finish this, guys, don't worry. For me personally, it also does kind of feel like I am taking a little too long on this, but realistically, I don't think I am, because if you think about it, we will be close to being done soon. We are back with Jacob talks about and gives his thoughts on every season of The Office. We did season 3 a week ago. 6 days to a week is a good, pause in between each episode, because obviously if the views keep counting up, then they'll keep counting up. But today, we got season 4, still pretty early in the show. This is still when the show is at its peak, when the show is absolutely fire. My last episode was me thinking season 3 is overrated, and I still think season 3 is a good season, but I do feel like it is a tad bit overrated. And apparently, we jumped to season 4, and season 4 is just top 3. We just jumped to top 3 season of the show. So, yeah. So, let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into the episodes. So, 3, 2, 1, go. So, yeah. So, season 4 of The Office opens up with the fun run, right? The fun run is the first episode or two. I want to say it's a part 2. I keep forgetting, is this the season that has all the part 2s? Like, all the there's half the or more than half the episodes are part 1 and part 2s. So I think it's this season. But Fun Run is great. Rabies, and why are they doing rabies? Because Michael hits Meredith with his car. Because of course he does. That's an absolutely amazing start to the season. That cold open is fantastic. I think it's pretty funny, and I think it's cool to have it be a running joke throughout the entire season that, hey, Meredith got hit by Michael's car while Michael was driving it. Hilarious. And of course, Michael Scott would do that. Of course, Steve Carell's character would do that. So yeah, the fun run's pretty funny. You got, Toby involved. You got, Jim and Pam not really doing anything with the fun run. They're not taking it seriously. Michael's not drinking any water. It's just funny. It's a pretty solid 1-2 punch to begin a season. And season 4 was where we had Jim and Pam, who are both single. They both start the show off single, because if you remember, season 3 had Karen. Jim was dating Karen in season 3. And Pam and Roy were going a little on off. Remember, I didn't really like that in season 3. Pam and Roy were kind of, they had two spurts of them being together. One when the show started, one season 3. So yeah, Karen, they broke up. Pam's like, I'm done, Roy. We're not doing this anymore. They're both single. But even the viewer would know, hey, that's not going to last long. Once again, even small parts in the Fun Run episode, you could tell, hey, they're definitely going to get together. We just don't know when yet. But it's soon. Dwight killed Angela's cat, Sprinkles. Hilarious. This is where, with season 3 and even season 2, you got, a lot of Dwight and Angela. And I love that. That's an amazing relationship. That's one of my favorite relationships in the whole show. You could definitely battle it with Jim and Pam, although Jim and Pam do kind of make the show what it is. Angela and Dwight are an amazing couple, and in my head, they're a tad bit underrated, but at the same time, they're not underrated at all. So yeah, Dwight killing Angela's cat, Sprinkles, definitely did not help him being loved by her anymore. In fact, that actually is a pretty big breaking point in the season of Angela not being a fan of Dwight anymore. I don't know why I wrote this down in the season 4 column. Maybe it was because he said the iconic quote, but Michael needs to be liked. He does, I don't feel like the need to be loved, right? I want to be liked. I like to be liked. I need to be liked. Michael needs to be liked. And I feel like we can all relate to that in some way, because I feel like everyone at some point needs to be liked. I want to know how many of you guys, noticed this while watching this season. I feel like in some way, and this is not necessarily an entirely bad thing, but I do feel like the writers were somewhat forcing Jim and Pam, hard. Because, once again, they're both single. we all know and we all want for them to be together. We're like, okay, season 4, they're gonna do it. They're gonna be together. But the writer, I feel like, was just like, come on, we're doing it. Come on, we're doing it now. It's like, what? It's like, watch, let it build a little bit. Like, that's just my opinion. Like, let it build a tiny bit, and then we'll see. But that's kind of what I noticed. They're kind of forcing a little bit. There's also the season where, very small moment, but Pam saw Michael naked. Yeah, Michael was changing in his office, and he literally said, come in. Pam walks in. Michael's like, get out. Like, he didn't just say come in. Because, of course, that's what Michael Scott's brain does, right? Michael does not want to be wrong, and he never will be wrong. I'm sure that was pretty traumatizing for Pam, though. For Pam. Pam seeing Michael naked is, yeah. It's not a huge moment, but I think it is. So, yeah, so Jim and Pam start dating. They're dating. Pam and Jim are now a thing. So that's great. And it's now publicly to the office and everything like that. I don't love how Jim told Michael, because the booze cruise, he told Michael that, hey, I have feelings for Pam. And every single person acts shocked. It's like, don't be shocked, guys. Like, you guys knew it all along. That's why when Michael announced they were dating to the office, because he can't keep a secret, it's like, okay. Like, everyone was like, yeah, we kind of knew since, season 2 for us. But, yeah, we kind of knew since, 2 years ago. It's like, yeah. All right, now, let's go back to Dwight. Dwight's single now. Angela's like, you killed my cat? No more. Frick off. I'm not doing that. So Dwight takes a toll this season, which you will notice. Dwight gets crushed this season. Dwight doesn't do so well. He's just not doing well. Once again, I also feel like, I think I mentioned this in season 1, but Michael has his smart moments. He can be a really smart guy. Michael can be a very intelligent guy when he wants to be. But whenever he wants to be, it's more important, which is amazing. I love how that's his character development. But once again, Dwight's desperate. He's not doing so well. He's going through it, man. Angela breaking up with him really did not, this wasn't even public, but really just not doing so well. You really get to see the lowest of lows when it comes to Dwight this season. Him and Andy do the sales computer thing where Dwight beats a computer in sales. Amazing. Once again, he was at Staples last season, which is pretty cool and interesting. That's where they got the leads from. I don't know about you guys, but in my opinion, one thing in season 4 that I love, that they only show once in the entire show, and it's season 4, Michael does his little telemarketing job. Well, it's because he quits. Michael, after his day job of the office, right, being a manager, he goes to a small little cubicle job where he works as a telemarketer. And it's hilarious. And it's like, Michael loves sales so much that he gets a second job of telemarketing. And of course, the manager there hates him because he does everything wrong. Because you're supposed to follow a script, and it's probably a boring script. But Michael's not going to listen, right? So Michael does what he always does, and he puts the Michael Scott fashion into him talking on the telemarketing, and it's actually hilarious. He does quit, which is why they show it once, but I would love that if they showed it more, but whatever. I believe this is the first time you get to see Schrute Farms. You get to see a scene with Schrute Farms. Schrute Farms is, of course, Dwight Schrute's home. It becomes a very present thing later on in the show, more often, but Schrute Farms is awesome. Dwight is worthless. Everything is going wrong for him. Just everything. It's like him and Andy, which we'll get to later on. Angela just dumped his ass. Sucks, man. It sucks. Okay. Let's talk about something real quick. So this will also be my answer for the best episode of the season. Normally that's towards the end, but I'm going to say it now. Because my favorite episode in season 4 might be my favorite or second favorite episode of the entire show. In my opinion, Branch Wars is the funniest episode of the entire show. Funniest episode in the entire show. And that's saying a lot because Dinner Party is in this season, which we'll get to, obviously. I love Branch Wars. Jim, Michael, Dwight dressing up with mustaches. Karen is back. That's right, they bring back Karen. Karen is now the manager at Utica. And it's really cool how she got her happy ending. Like, okay, Jim dumped her ass. So it's a happy ending for her, which is good. And she's pregnant. Awesome. Hilarious episode. If you watch the Superfan episodes, amazing. Basically, the episode is just, Karen is taking Stanley because Stanley has the highest sales. And they don't let her take Stanley, so they try to sneak in. It's absolutely hilarious. And at the end, she's like, you know what? I'm not taking Stanley. And a little bit, she was like, hey, Jim, you wanna get back together? And he's like, no, I'm actually with Pam. And he's like, oh shit, that girl? Yeah, because remember, they had a little bit of a tiny little arc that I love me personally in season 3. Then you got Michael's Survivor episode. Oh my god, what another fantastic episode that I love, man. Michael just going out in the forest and surviving because Ryan didn't invite Michael to the Survivor thing. He goes out in the woods, he eats mushrooms. Hilarious, hilarious, hilarious. Dwight watches him secretly the entire time. Amazing episode. This is why this season is so good. Okay, we'll talk about it now. Dinner Party. Yes. Dinner Party is the one episode you probably know, like, if you haven't watched the show. It's very iconic. It's a good episode. But people think it's cringy as well. It's both. Dinner Party's awesome. Michael and Jan not doing so well. This is kind of like the end of Jan a little bit. Michael and Jan struggling. Hilarious yelling. Michael's now single because Jan didn't want, so Michael's basically out of his condo. Which is good because Jan sucks. Michael and Jan are not good for each other. Literally says in the show that Michael is unhappy when he's with her, which is crazy. That's not how a relationship should be in this world. Okay, then there's an episode in season 4 that I was watching, and I was like, I can't recall this episode or moment ever. And mind you, this is my 3rd time watching the show all the way through. I'm like, what the hell is this episode? Michael, Dwight, and Ryan are in a club in downtown New York or whatever. Because, remember, Ryan is at corporate. And they go out clubbing, and Ryan's an absolute mess. And Michael tries to find a girl. Dwight tries to find a girl. And I'm like, this episode is kind of new to me, actually. But yeah, just 3 men having fun, trying to get laid. Can't blame them. Then, of course, you have Did I Stutter, which is an amazing episode. Quote, fantastic moment from Stanley. We get to see Andy versus Dwight again because something happens in this season at the end. Andy proposes to Angela. That's right, Dwight's former lover. Andy and Angela are now together, which I hate that. I don't like that at all. And seeing Dwight versus Andy fight over Angela is actually pretty funny. I think Dwight and Angela was easily the better couple. And Andy and Angela have nothing in common, no chemistry at all. And it really pains me to see that last how long it did throughout even season 5 as well, which we'll get to later on. But yeah. Goodbye, Toby. Toby's Gone, Sayonara, the great song where Michael does a parody of the Jacob, What the Hell Is It? Supertramp, that song. Yeah, and since Toby's gone, we get to see an introduction to a new character that we're going to know and love, Holly Flax. Holly Flax is taking over as the new HR person since Toby's gone. And immediately, Michael hits it off with her. And we're going to see more talks of Michael and Holly throughout the more seasons as we keep going on. So, Holly Flax is a new character. I'm not going to touch on her too much now because she's a big part of 5. So, I'll talk about her more in 5 than 4, but yeah. So, we get Holly Flax. And the final episode where Andy proposes to Angela, it was the exact same night where Jim was going to propose to Pam because he had a ring in his pocket, but he couldn't do it because he thought, okay, it's too awkward if he's trying to copy, because Andy's going to think, what the hell, you're copying me, Tuna? Yeah. So, we almost saw a Jim and Pam proposal, which is amazing. We'll obviously get one later, but it's amazing how, you know, as a watcher, you're like, oh my god, that almost happened. Yeah. And then, of course, the ending of the episode, the final scene, you see Dwight and Angela do it. They're doing it. They're doing it. They're doing it while she's together, while she's engaged to Andy. Drama everywhere. Everything is happening with Angela. Dwight and Andy is going to become a big thing now, and they had sex for the first time in the office. Phyllis is the only one that saw and knows, so we're going to see a little more insight on Phyllis when it comes to season 5. But season 4 is an amazing season. The worst episode is Chair Model. I don't care. It's just kind of boring. You know, it's like one episode's like, okay. But yeah, season 4, freaking phenomenal. Better than 3. It's in my top 3. So many iconic moments. That's all I gotta say about season 4. Anyways, that's going to be all for today's video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff. Comment down below anything that you want to say about 4. Season 5 will probably be, once again, 5, 6, 7 days, basically a week, basically. But yeah, we are getting some pretty intense stuff in the show. Season 5 and 6 is where, this show is just so good. It's so good. So season 5 will definitely be a big season. And yeah, so that's all for this video. And I will see you all next time. Peace.